Good morning, everybody. Grace and peace to you from our Lord Jesus Christ and all the saints here in the MDF. Again, I am back at the scene of the crime, my crime. Remember in my last video, I told you I deinstalled a router, a vendor router that we were no longer using. Well, that's it right there. The Cisco 3900 something. The heck is it? Does it have the name on it? I don't know. Here, you guys can. It's heavy. Oh, wait, there it is. 3945? I can't tell. Hang on. There. Pause it. It's one of those. So, yeah. Pulled this guy out. And if you'll recall, when I pulled these two power connections over here, those two, I thought I was pulling the right ones. And what I actually pulled were these guys. You look at that, and you look at that. I mean, they don't even look similar. But I was talking to my buddy Jose, who was sitting right over there, and I was not paying attention. So once I'd powered down our secondary firewall, secondary segmentation firewall, realized what I'd done. I plugged it all back in, and everything was fine. Fast forward to this morning. This morning is our power test, and it went down again. What the heck did I do? And then I realized what I did. So there's our UPSs down there. And again, on autopilot, I don't know what was up with me that day. I even had coffee, so I am not sure. But just on autopilot, took one of these really nice blue power cables, plugged it in there, plugged it into the rack. Had another nice blue power cable right there, plugged it into the rack, and came up. Life was good, right? Life was good until today when it lost power, because this power strip here is on goes into facility power. Actually goes into e-power. So if you look up these guys, the red plugs, we call those e-power. Anything that isn't red like that is not doesn't go to our generator. So I mean, while this does go to emergency power, the generator will come on. When we're making that cutover from utility power to generator power, this drops for a few seconds, just long enough for that to drop. So that's why I put these UPSs in down here. And so yeah, this morning I ran down here and grabbed another power cable and plugged it into that UPS. So now when they're doing their power test right now, so pardon me. Now when they cut back, we should be in better shape. So yeah, don't look at me as the expert on anything. Look at me, the guy that's just showing you how I do it. Right or wrong, this is how I do it. So yeah, no matter how long you're in it, you're going to make mistakes. So if you're just getting started, don't worry about those mistakes. You know, some of us been doing this 40 years, over 40 years. Well, not this over 40 years, working as an adult, theoretically, over 40 years. We still make mistakes. So anyway, yeah, I'm just going to hang out down here until the power switch is back. There should be a noticeable kerthunk when that happens. So anyway, well, last week I gave you a tour of the data center. So I'm going to give you a tour of the core network in the data center. I'll give you a core network tour of the MDF, which is the other half of our core network. And it's also part storage room. There's all of our APs waiting to get, the rest of our APs waiting to get installed, including this beefy boy right here. It's a big boy. This is probably the biggest access point I've ever seen deployed here. So there's my hand for reference. This is an extreme, what the heck is this? It's a 50, 50, I think it's a D. It's just saying 50-50, but I think it's a D. It's directional. So all of our others are omnidirectional, and this one is directional. So whichever way you put this face, that's where it's going to direct the signal. And I ordered that one because that's going to go on the corner of the building that faces our helipad. So we've got a place where a helicopter lands out there, and we're going to put a access point facing them so that when the helicopter comes in or the nurses go out, nurses wear Vocera badges. Vocera will work all the way out to the helipad. They won't be able to hear anything, but it'll work. And then I guess the pilot, if he wants to jump on our guest Wi-Fi and do some paperwork on his phone, he can do that too. Just real quick, this rack here, I think there's like one county connection still coming in through here, through this guy up there, which I think goes to our sheriff's department, believe it or not. These other two switches here, they've been decommissioned. I don't see any lights or power. So that's an old rack. How's that for nostalgia, guys? Compact. Probably used, what was it, Insight Rack Builder or something like that? Insight. This is, I think, one of our AT&T connections still in use. This might be how we get back to the county. I can't remember. I don't mess with this over here. This is another, AT&T owns this whole rack here. Used to be a bunch of car batteries down there, which they got rid of, thank goodness, because they were leaking battery acid everywhere. Okay, so here we go. Here is our the second half of our core network. You got some Siennas up there that go to our one goes to our backup internet connection, one goes to our main internet / WAN, I believe. What does that say? Can't read it from down here, I'm too short. Anyway, we got ISP connections up there. This is our secondary internet firewall right below it. Got a fiber patch panel put in by one of the vendors. I believe that was the utility telephone. Oh, yep, utility telecom. Right below that is our corresponding WAN routers that I showed you up there. The top one up here is county owned. Next one down is ours, so that's our edge into the county's connection. They kind of serve as our ISP. So if we have any problems getting anywhere outside of the hospital, I call them. I don't call Comcast or AT&T. I call the county and they take care of it. So that WAN router down there is mine. I manage that. They manage that. That's my connection to them. Here's our other two fabric core routers, VSPs. There's core switch 3 and core switch 4. It's a little bit messier down here than up there, but it's okay. Nobody ever comes down here. Right below that is our copper top of rack switch for any servers we may have down here, management for the firewalls, any other things that need copper connections. That's our top of rack switch for that. Right down below that is the Cerner gear that gets us the secondary circuit out to Cerner. aka Oracle. So, and I think, what do we got in there? They've got like this thing up here. This top one is like a terminal server slash power uh, control, so they can telnet into that and get into the terminal connections of the three devices they have here, which is this switch, this, what is this one? That's their firewall, and that's their router. So they can get into any of those. They can power cycle any of those through. There goes the power transfer switch back. And thank goodness that guy is still running. But I came down here. Anyway, so that was them cutting power back over from emergency power, generator power, back to utility power. So very exciting. Continuing on. Right below that is the Cerner's switch that they connect the firewall and router and power control console. CAFR. I don't know what a CAFR is, but that's that's what they call it. There's the switch. Down here is their firewall. It's a Cisco ASA something or other. I am not sure. It's set up in a primary, secondary failover thing with the one up where we are. And then, like I said, this is their router down below that. So they actually sent us these 4 devices pre-cabled and tie wrapped all together. Sit here, install this. Well, I'm removing the tie wrap, guys, and I'm going to decable it because I can't lift them all up as a big bundle, much less install them. So they weren't happy about that. I'm like, yeah, I don't care. You come out and install it then. Anyway, so I got it installed back. I mean, I took pictures the way it was cabled up. They used colored cables. These are the cables they sent, and the color codes make sense to them. So yeah, okay. Continuing on. That's enough about Cerner. Down here, there it is. We have something called a Dialogic Media Gateway. And just like the label says on the front, it is our Vocera telephone gateway. So with Vocera, you can not only call badge to badge, you can use Vocera to make a phone call any phone number, or any phone number can call in to the Vocera network, and like you call a specific phone number that we publish to our users and say, call Scott, and this thing will talk to the Vocera servers, and it'll route that telephone session to the correct badge, whatever one Scott is wearing, and you can then talk to a Vocera badge on the phone. And this is basically the gateway from the Vocera server network to the public switch telephone network. And then, of course, right below that, there, it's the secondary firewall, segmentation firewall, which was the subject of today's video, more or less. And then down below that, we've got 3 UPSs that all of this equipment up here is kind of distributed across. So that's our core network down here. And then over these other racks, we have some VoIP servers over here. I don't manage those. I don't know what they are. So I mean, but there they are. They're in there. See, server 1 and server 2. So we have 2 servers in here, and some routers down there. More routers over here. That's all part of the VoIP network. Sorry, I can't tell you much about that. These 2 I can tell you about. That's our patient vitals network. So all the switches out in the units, they're all aggregated back to these. They're connected across them. So if either one of these 2 switches, either one of one of these switches goes down, there's still connectivity. They both go down. So, yeah, why are they both here? That's where all the wiring comes to. So, I mean, at least I can, very least, I can do firmware updates, right? I can update one, the other takes over. Once it's all done, I can update the other, and the original one takes over. So, over there, we just got fiber patch panels. Over here, this is more or less a network closet. This is what serves the users that are down here in the basement. These guys are sterile processing, which is over that way. These guys are the pharmacy. Am I pointing at it? Yeah. It's the pharmacy switch here. They're across the hall. Logically, it's all one big stacked switch. So there you go. And then I got one more rack over here, which is basically just an expansion rack for more servers. So, and you can see there is plenty of room for expansion. All we have down there is a couple of servers. Whoa, sorry about that. I almost dropped you guys. The little bottom Dell server way down there. Get down there. This guy is part of our radiology network. I know that. These two, you guys can Google this. Those two are part of Swank. Swank. It's a service. Well, it's a service provided by a vendor called Swank, and we have a lot of fun with that name. I won't use those names here, but Swank. You can think of words that rhyme with swank, but basically what it is. I'm coming around to the back so you can see the monitor. It provides in-house movies to our users, so they can connect up to the guest network and basically stream movies from here. They can also go out to the website and stream other movies, but like we'll load some really popular ones here that they can watch on the inpatient network, so they can switch to a specific channel on their TV and watch these. Or if it's somebody's just here at the hospital and they're waiting, they can go to our guest network and watch Swank, and that'll stream from over the internet. So yeah, and then down here, they basically, where's my finger? Can I see my finger? Yeah. They send us these two USB drives here, and those have the movies preloaded on them. So like every month or so, they'll send us 2 new drives to plug into the server there. So, which I have nothing to do with. Mr. T, also known as Tarek. I keep calling him Tariq, but I think he pronounces it Tarek. So Tarek manages that. So, and he's still learning on the network. He's really stepping up, trying to take the initiative to solve network stuff. So good on him. I really appreciate that about him. And I don't know if he's going to be hired to be my replacement, but he will make a darn good network guy someday. Because he doesn't get flustered by things, you know. Once you've been shot at in Afghanistan and Iraq, I guess everything else is like not too big a deal. So anyway, let me stop waving the camera around so you guys stop getting motion sick. That's all I got for this week, guys. If you like what you saw, click the subscribe button, click the notification bell to know when I, come out and start rambling like this on and on. Give me a like. You leave a comment if you have any questions. If you like what you saw, if you have any suggestions for the channel, if you have any suggestions for the future of the channel, because in 4 or 5 months, this channel will not go away. It'll still be a lot of tech-related content, but it will change because I won't be here anymore. So for those of you just tuning in, I am retiring at the end of March. That's the drop dead date. But the channel is not going away. Those Those of you who enjoy this type of punishment can still tune in and listen to me drone on about something or other. So I'll find something to talk about. I always do. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next week. God bless.